Farmers need fertilizer to grow maize. 1/3 of all the fertilizer shipped by sea comes from the Gulf, passing through a narrow strait just 33 kilometers wide between Iran and Oman. On February 28th, that shipping lane closed when the US and Israel launched their war on Iran. Traffic through the Strait of Hormuz dropped by 97%, and headlines focused on oil and gas price hikes. They didn't tell you what happens to the price of bread. Here's how closing the Strait of Hormuz raises your grocery bill. Ships that pass through the strait transport 13% of the world's chemicals traded by sea. This category includes fertilizers. In 2024, 16 million tons of fertilizer left the Gulf by ship. 2/3 of that was urea. It's a nitrogen-based compound that farmers across the global south depend on to grow staple crops. Urea is made from natural gas. When gas prices spike, urea prices follow within weeks. This pattern goes back decades. It happened during the commodity boom of 2008. It happened at the start of the war in Ukraine. It is happening now. Here's how this chain works. War closes the strait. Gas prices spike. Fertilizer gets expensive. Farmers who cannot afford it use less. Yields drop. Food prices rise. And the poorest households are hit the hardest. Look at where it happens. Sudan imports 54% of its fertilizer from the Gulf. Sri Lanka imports 36%. Tanzania and Somalia around 30%. Sudan is already the world's largest hunger crisis. Now more than half of the fertilizer its farmers need is stuck behind a blockade 2,000 kilometers away. Not only does fertilizer get expensive to make, it also gets expensive to move. The price of bunker fuel used by ships doubled in 10 days. War risk insurance for vessels heading to the Strait of Hormuz multiplied. Shipping companies pass these costs down the chain, and at its end is the person buying a loaf of bread. The pattern checks. Oil spikes, food follows. But countries can stockpile oil and release reserves to counter crises. After Russia invaded Ukraine, the International Energy Agency released 182 million barrels. You cannot stockpile fertilizer. It degrades, it's seasonal. If a farmer misses a planting window because fertilizer arrived late or it costs too much, there's no catching up. The crop doesn't grow. If the disruption lasts weeks, farmers need to find alternatives at a higher cost. If it lasts months, they will plant with less. When they do, yields will drop. Food prices will rise. That's how a disrupted supply chain works. It starts with missiles fired by the US and Israel and ends with a bag of rice that a family can't afford.